Hey everybody, welcome back to Banished. So we need to get some kind of a food source going here. We've got our Forester Lodge set up. It's producing logs, or it will be shortly. We only have 16 at the moment. And we have our houses set up over here, but we don't have a source of food yet, and we're going to set up 2 of them. I think the first one we're going to set up over here is a gatherer's hut, and we'll put it basically right across the street here from the foresters. Right there, fits in nicely. So we'll have our guys come over and start clearing stuff out. I'm going to slow this down a little bit. We're at 10 times. I'm going to bring it down to 5. We don't really need to be going quite that fast. And sometimes if you let it go really fast, the time will get away from you. So it's currently late spring. We have 14 adults now, which is okay. Collecting some more wood. We need 30 wood. Oh, and did we just get another adult? We did. So that's actually, that'll be good. As long as we don't let them expand their families too much. We're almost at maximum here anyway. The food situation shouldn't get out of control on us. Every time you add a house, you basically make room for 5 more villagers. And they tend to each consume, I don't know, it seems like almost 1,000 units of food a year. Or even a season almost, sometimes. We've almost got enough wood. There's probably somebody bringing the last unit of wood on the way. And then this will get under construction. Now, the reason I have 10 builders assigned is that just because only 3 can work at this at a time, they do kind of take breaks, it seems like. They do have to go get food and eat and that kind of thing. So if you assign jobs, the ones who aren't doing anything while this job, say, is full, they'll kind of switch off when somebody leaves. And when they're not working in any of the professions, so if the foresters weren't working, or if these guys weren't working, if they couldn't do their job for some reason. Alright, let's pause it here. And we need how many gatherers? 4. So there we go, we'll assign those 4 guys to the job. They'll just revert to laborers, so you're never in a situation where people are just sitting around idle unless you have truly nothing going on. Okay, so now let's set up a fishing hut. I wanted to use this spot here for the trading post when we get one. So I think maybe we'll put the fishing hut over here somewhere. Let's get our fishing out. And we need to flip that around. That'll be the best way to orient that. So we could place... Oh, we can't even get one there. We could do it there. Which wouldn't be bad. I mean, it's basically a straight shot back over here. That would be okay. Let's do it there. Not the best spot because of the water coverage, but we got basically this area here for fishing, and that's not terrible. We're kind of limited in the places we can choose here anyway at the moment. Let's bring the road to there, and then we'll bring it over like that. Boom. Okay, everybody get building on that. And up here it tells you the temperature as well, and kind of the weather. So it's currently sunny, 25 degrees. I have the temperature set to Celsius because I'm Canadian. But you can set it to Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what 25 is in Fahrenheit, probably around 80. So we're getting all the stuff in here. Looks like we have enough materials. We might be low on stone. Is that what this little... Nope, that's telling me the reserve of logs is low. But it looks like we are out of stone. So let's quickly get some people to collect some. Let's get all that collected. And we have basically 7 laborers because there's no work they can be doing. So that should collect stone fairly quickly there. So you see them coming in there. They're hacking up the stones. Shouldn't take too long for them to get a good... Yeah, we got some in the stockpile there. They're going to bring the rest that they need over here, and then this should go up pretty quick. There we go. And then the next thing we're going to need is our hunting cabin, which I guess we'll put down here, and we can move it later. What are we going to need for a hunting cabin? We're going to need 34 logs, which we don't have quite yet, and 12 stone, which we do have. Alright, so we want to put that a little bit away from civilization, so I guess we'll put it maybe right about there. We'll orient it like that, so it's kind of more of a straight shot to the front door, so like that. We could come straight back like this. And put it right about there. So it's just a really straight road. Let's do that. But our fishermen are ready. Let's reassign some people to the fishing. There we go. And you do want to have multiple sources of food, by the way. So we have the gatherers over here. And if we push this button here, we can see what they are actually collecting. So they've got berries, mushrooms, roots, and onions. So they're kind of taking care of the plants for us at the moment. We're going to get some fish from these guys. They have already caught 13 fish, so they're working. And then these guys will produce venison. And what are we just getting a warning for? Logs. Our logs are low, and then we need to get a firewood guy going. We're gonna be a little bit on the close, cutting it a little bit fine here in terms of food and firewood for the winter. This is not actually a great start at the moment because we're kind of slow on getting this thing built. Can we cut down a couple trees here? And then maybe... Well, we need 4 more logs? There we go. Okay. So that should get done relatively quick. Yeah, here comes the guy to work. And then the next thing we need to build... We're only going to assign, I think, maybe 3 people to this. That might be the maximum we can assign as well. And then we'll have 1 person left over and we'll have them cutting firewood. So before we assign anybody to do the hunting, let's build a woodcutter. And we'll put him right here. Our stockpile's right there, so we may as well put the woodcutter right next to that. We'll put it right there, so he doesn't have to go far to get the logs. And we'll put in a little road right in front of it. Alright. So they'll chop down the trees on the lot here, and that should give us the extra wood that we need. Oh, this is not good. We need to get this guy going fast. Come on, come on. Late autumn, we're getting an early snow. It's -1. Hopefully nobody freezes to death. Alright, they're bringing the resources in. Just need some more logs. Come on, guys. Get on it. Okay. Now we need the builders. Okay, there we go. We got some building going on. Should only be a couple seconds here, and this should be constructed. And then we'll pause the game quick. Alright. Let's take everybody off builder. We'll assign 1 person to be the woodcutter. They'll operate more or less continually as long as they have logs going. We have 8. Hopefully the foresters will start bringing in some more soon. And we will assign the other 3 to hunter. Alright. Now, when we get some of these kids, she's gonna age up soon. They will too, relatively quickly. Maybe we'll build 2 more houses. Because we're gonna need some more workers. Take a little bit of the pressure off the existing houses. We never built that road, did we? I don't think we have enough people to do it, but once that one girl... I think yeah, once she ages up, we'll have her just be a laborer and we'll build the road out. So our current limit on firewood is 200. Looks like this house has got its firewood. It currently has 3. That's not enough. And this place has none currently. But we are building up a little bit of a reserve of it. It'll all go away, because they're going to take it all, but we're not quite in dire straits. Hopefully nobody's going to starve to death or freeze to death. Oh, and we got that adult. So let's pause quickly here again. We'll get out our road tool. And we'll bring this road straight back to the hunting camp. Okay, everybody's got firewood. Great. And everybody has an inventory of food as well, so nobody's going to starve, even though our reserves are low. Although we're starting to build some up now. And how's this place doing? Has it caught anything? Caught some leather, caught some stone and some logs. Good work. I guess they pick up stuff that they find kind of lying around while they're out working. So, like, I'm thinking if maybe they caught something in a stone pile or something, stones would kind of break when the items that they were picking up kind of fall on the ground. Could be the way that works. And then they end up picking that up. Sometimes you'll see that in the gatherer's hut, too. Or the foresters. Yeah, they got some iron and some stone, too. How's the fishing depot going? 399 fish. That's not amazing. Well, I guess it's still ongoing. So they might... I'm hoping they'll end up somewhere around 800. The gatherers usually get them to bring in a little bit more than that. I'm looking for about 500 to 600 per item there. The hunter's hut never seemed to operate that great for me. I usually get maybe 800 at most meat out of them. 900 sometimes. And we have a stock, oh, we're out of actually logs. That's why he wasn't working. Okay, so we're just gonna, let's speed this up a little bit. I think we're in an okay situation. We'll bring it up to 10 times to get through to the spring. It's late winter now. There we go. Okay, let's bring that back down to 5. I don't think maybe we should build a house yet. I think we should wait for us to get a good stock of firewood here, and maybe we'll build another depot. Possibly. Because this is going to be filling up with iron and stone. And we don't really have a use for iron quite yet. Oh yeah, we have some venison in here. We have some leather. That's good. We're getting stuck at 600 food, 700 food, so that's good. I guess the real limiting thing right now is our forester. But we have that one laborer on hand, so let's get them to harvest some trees over here. These aren't really important trees. There we go. I guess we had a couple people... Oh, the woodcutter's idled, so they helped do a bit of the chopping there. Now, you'll also sometimes see trees just kind of fall down on their own. So if we come over here for a second... Are we going to see anything happen? No, maybe not. But sometimes you'll just see them fall down on their own. And I'm not sure if they do that as part of their aging, and then maybe kind of replant as well. It also seems the kind of thing that this game would do where if you happen to have a guy standing around when one fell, there would be a possibility they would get crushed. I've never seen it happen, but the kind of things that come up in this game, it wouldn't surprise me. 81 firewood. We're not getting as much food as I would like. Usually you can build up a pretty good stock just from having these kind of 3 locations set up. I don't know if I mentioned it already, but you do want a variety. Having multiple kinds of food, so the fish and the meat and the plants and then eventually crops, it will improve the health of your citizens. They like a variety in their nutritional balance kind of thing. Oh, we now have 2 people. And a reasonable stock of logs. We'll put down another house. Right there. So somebody needs to come to cut down that tree. and then they'll bring the materials. I'm almost thinking maybe we should add another fishing village, or another fishing house when we get the time, so that one's there. So if we set one up there, it wouldn't be interfering too much with this one's radius. So that radius ends kind of right at that point. So right there might be a good spot for it. Be a good way to just get a little bit more extra production going there. Why is nobody building this road? Or do they have to be assigned as a builder to build the road? Oh, there we go. We got all the materials, so we're going to switch quickly into building that. And who's going to move in? Lutherine and Essie. Okay. Looks like we're going to get another adult here in a second, maybe two more. Maybe we'll build one more house. Well, we still have those builders assigned. Let's build it right there and we'll leave... well, let's go like this. There's no need for a road between those ones. Oh, we got... yeah, we got that other adult. Did we get two? Spring, early summer. So we got... oh, well, yeah, I guess that's all of them. Three sitting around. There we go. Preston Hade. Very good. This place is asking us to up our limit on wood fuel. I guess it's running into the 200 limit that is on it. Maybe we will. Let's put another stockpile next to it, though. Put a stockpile right there. Now somebody's going to come chop down that tree. What are you holding now? There was a little plant there and she dug it up, but I guess it doesn't matter if you're not a gatherer. Maybe they can't collect that kind of thing. And I think maybe we will raise this up. We'll raise that up to 300. Now, what I'd eventually like to do is get a system, a good kind of quote-unquote industry system set up here where we have maybe 2 foresters active and producing logs for woodcutters, and then the woodcutters create, you know, the firewood, and then the firewood we should be able to trade. I'm just going to take a quick break. I will be right back. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. It turns out I lost the audio for the rest of this episode for some reason, so I'm just going to do a little bit of post-commentary here. So we're producing about 600 fish is what we're getting out of this thing right now, out of the fishing hut, compared to about 500 last year. And we have a pretty good stock of food, but I think what we're going to need to do is set up another fishing hut. The foresters, or the gatherers and the hunters are doing pretty well. But yeah, maybe we should set up another fishing hut kind of over at this end, a little bit past the one that we already have. So we're going to put a fishing hut down just somewhere over here. We're going to try to get it out of the range of the other one there. Like I think I've said, the effectiveness of the fishing hut seems to depend both on not competing with another fishing hut or fishing dock, and kind of being covering as much area as possible with the circle, covering as much water as possible. So we're going to run the fishing dock over there. It's just kind of outside the border of the other one, so they both should be able to produce a reasonable amount of fish. Now we're just kind of waiting for those guys to get going, but we're running low on logs and stone, and we're also getting a little bit low on coats, so it might be a good idea to start producing some more of those here at some point as well. So we're going to build a tailor's hut here in a couple minutes too. Right now we're just waiting for people to do their work, bring the materials out, clear the area. Going to run a road out there too. So they're starting to drop off materials. A couple children were just born. We had a child named Alisandi and a child named Thermani. Always good to see the population growing, as long as it's not growing too quickly. So the fishing, or the hunting cabins produced 720 venison this year, which is not bad. And the gatherers put out... well, the numbers aren't great. We would have liked to see them higher, but they're doing okay. They're getting about, I guess, close to 1,600 a year, almost 2,000 a year. We're building up a stock of food. We have about 1,400 at the moment. And right now we're just waiting for the builders to come out. Here comes a guy. He's going to do a little bit of work there. Another builder coming out. We have 4 of them assigned, but as you can see, they don't always stick around and do a whole lot. So I'm hoping another one is going to be coming out here soon. Unfortunately, these are just kind of children coming out to take a look at what's going on. I'm not entirely sure how the AI works for the roaming. I'm thinking it's kind of dependent on where you have buildings, because they do seem to roam a fair distance away, but they also seem to roam around to where there are other people. So that's kind of a neat way that they work. I'm also thinking about maybe we need to build some houses, and maybe we'll be doing that next episode. We're going to take those people off of the building now that we have the fishing hut set up. We'll put them into that. We'll leave one as a laborer because we don't really need 9 fishermen yet, and then the laborer will be able to run the road out. So I'll reconnect it back up to the town here, and that's a fair distance out, so it's good to have the road for the quick travel. That one in particular we might consider turning into a stone road at some point once we get a good stock of stone. So they're already producing some fish. He's going to come up, pick some up, and take it back. And that's one of the important reasons to have, you know, some kind of a supply of laborers around, is that they will, they're the ones who will kind of go around and pick up stuff, rather than having to use the actual people producing the food. It takes away from their time actually doing that. So if you have a good stock of laborers on hand, and we unfortunately don't have a big enough population to really do that at this point, we have almost everybody assigned to something either in, you know, our limited industry or in our food production system. Otherwise, like I said, the actual people doing the gathering are going to end up having to go and bring it over to the place itself, and it takes away from them actually doing their job. So right now we're going to put down tailors because we've actually run out of coats. We're down to 0 coats in our stockpile, so we're going to put a tailor's right there. And then hopefully those builders are going to come and start clearing this out pretty quick. We're going to have to get some more log and some more stone because we are almost bone dry on both of them. We have enough iron to do this, but we need the log and the stone. We're doing okay on our supply of firewood. We're not really critical on that. We're good on the food. So for the most basic of materials, we're doing okay. But we do need to get those coats, because they do wear out over time, and people replace them. New children who are born need to wear new coats. It's kind of a hectic system trying to keep up with everything that people need, and, you know, keep them all clothed and fed, and with tools, which we're going to have to look into as well, because we're getting low on that. We only have 8 tools. Right now, this is taking a little bit of time to actually get this thing done. The builders aren't moving there quickly. Like, that one comes to chop down a tree, and then she just walks away. Leaves the other one there. They're getting reassigned to kind of laborer jobs a little too much, I think. So it might be in our interest to start looking into building up a little bit of a population of just plain laborers. We're going to need to collect some more logs. We're just going to chop down the ones right behind the town there. Because we are... Like, we need 32 to build this, and we don't have that many on hand. The woodcutter's taking a whole bunch all the time because we raised the cap up to 300. There we go, they're bringing stuff in now. And we're also going to need to get some stone collected. Oh, we got a a late return of winter there in the spring. We got the snow back. I'm not sure how that would affect crops if we had them. Would it, you know, that second kind of snowfall, would that destroy our spring planting, or do they not maybe start planting until the spring? We've got a lot of stone over there too, so we're gonna have to go collect some of that as well. But I think the stuff we're taking out of the forest over here is probably gonna be enough. Might not be. But it's good to take the stuff out of the forest first, because that's the area that we're using for planting trees and for gathering. So the more kind of clutter we can get rid of on the ground, kind of the better off we'll be in that area, because it'll increase the area that we can plant trees. And the gatherers and the foresters kind of depend on tree density for their output, as well as the herbalist, which we haven't built yet as well. And that's another thing we maybe need to be looking into. So they're not quite bringing in enough stone or logs. We're probably going to get the logs just from the regular forestry work here. But we're also going to need to get a little bit more stone. So I think we're going to we're going to order some gathering over there. Now, what I'm pointing out here is that I'm thinking about maybe doing a market, because the market kind of acts as a distribution point, and once we do that, we can set up barns, kind of right between these two fishing huts, or over by the gatherer's hut, or you know, even down by the hunter's hut, and then they'll just deposit the food directly into the barn, and they don't have to go far. Like, they're not making the trek back to town to drop off the stuff. And then the market, if we assign vendors to it, which we don't, again, have enough people to do at this point. They'll just go and pick up the materials at the stockpiles or the barns and bring it right to that central location, which makes things a lot easier. But we need the population to support that as well. And then markets also have a radius around them where only the houses within that radius will go to the market. And so you kind of need to plan out where you're going to put it a little bit early. And another thing we might want to look into is maybe looking at planting some crops, or maybe even an orchard next year to get that extra little bit of annual food coming in, a little bit of guaranteed food. So these guys are collecting some stone. We're going to get that over there, and then kind of the unfortunate thing is that they don't bring it directly over to where it's needed. They'll bring it back to the stockpile rather than an open project that requires the material. So we should get enough stone there any second, and then they'll be able to start building. There we go. We're going to get that tailor shop set up. Then we can start getting some new coats. I'm not sure how many people are actually lacking coats at the moment, but presumably some have worn off if they've emptied the stockpile. Almost complete. It needs quite a bit of labor to build this. It needs 80 labor. As opposed to, like, the houses, which I think only needed about 30 or 40. So there we go. Let's assign this one person that we have free, Cincenzo, who just became an adult. We'll make him our tailor. Pop him right in there. And so we can build a hide coat, or if we had sheep, we could get wool and make a wool coat, which is a little bit better, or a warm coat, which is both leather and wool. But I think maybe we'll call this the end of the episode here, and in the next episode we will continue with Funston Burn. So once again, I'm Nightcat. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.